All right, so the first thing that I want to talk about is goal setting. Now, this is important because and it is cliche and it is a kind of a lame metaphor, but you need to understand your goals. You need to understand where you're going in a lot of different directions, and we're going to talk about them here in a second. I made sure to write down some key points so that we hit on them. Now, you need to set the sail of your sail ship, so to speak, okay? You need to set, before you get started with anything, you need to set the coordinates of your plane. Because you could be flying around, but if you don't set the sail of the sail ship, you don't set the coordinates of your plane, you could be in Air Force One, you can be in the best plane, but you're never gonna reach the destination because you haven't defined it. So, first thing I wanna talk about is your goals, okay? So, what are your financial goals? What do you want out of entrepreneurship? And that will, once you identify your financial goals, then you can obviously set and find a business model or an entrepreneurship, venture that fits those financial goals. I don't care what it is for you. You might want $100,000 a year, okay? You might want just an extra $1,000 a month right now. Maybe that's your goal. You might want to just start with $100 every day. You want to make $100 a day. Whatever it is, maybe you want to be a millionaire by the end of the year. Okay? Set your goal, whatever you feel like is realistic to you, okay? You don't just want to jump ahead and be like, I'm going to be a billionaire by the end of the year. It's a bit of a stretch. Take it one step at a time. There's levels to it, okay? So maybe if you're a new entrepreneur, you start with $1,000 extra this month. If you're a seasoned entrepreneur, maybe you want to earn an extra $100,000 this year, okay? Or maybe you want to hit $1 million in sales or something like that. But you need to understand and define your finance goals, because that's really going to let you know that, okay, it's going to give you direction. It's going to set the sail of your sail ship, okay? Now, the next thing that you want to understand is, what are your business goals? So what do you want to open up a brick and mortar store? Is that something that you have a passion for? Do you want, something that you can call your own, that you can point to and say, that's my business? Or would you rather enjoy, the laptop lifestyle and rather enjoy the freedom that it provides, where you can basically work from anywhere in the world as long as you have a computer with you, right? And Wi-Fi or something like that, and internet. Okay, so you need to understand your business goals and, maybe try a bunch of different businesses. I have an entire entrepreneurship accelerator program that I give away for free on my website, and you can basically, I'll pop it up on the screen right now if you're interested. Basically go to bgmediainnovation.com/free-course. That should be popped up on the screen right now, and that will get you the entrepreneurship accelerator program. And what that basically does is it runs you through about 30 of the most popular business models and lets you know, gives you kind of an overview of it so you understand what intrigues you, what interests you, what you might be good at, and where you want your attention to go. That will basically run you through the overview of 30 different business models that are the most popular, like I said, and that will give you the best bang for your buck as an overview, so you can basically pick one or two and try them out so that you know full-heartedly what works for you and what doesn't, okay? So the next thing is, how do you want your business to interact with your life? So we'll say biz up here because that was the last one, right? But then how does that interact with your life? How do they relate? And there's a bunch of questions to be answered here, right? So are you a husband? Are you a father? Do you have children? Do you have to take little Johnny to soccer practice every other day, at 6 o'clock at night, right? That's going to make your lifestyle very, very different than somebody that's in school or in high school, for example, and they can't work from, what is it, like 8 to 4 maybe, or 8 to 3, because they're in school all day. So you have to understand, okay, what are my financial goals? What do I want to achieve? What type of businesses attract me? And where do I want my attention to go? What am I interested in? And how is that going to relate to my life? You need to outline all these things that will really, really, really help you. I want you to write all these things down. I want you specifically to write them down and outline. Okay, yes, I want $1,000 extra a month, but realistically, I also want to make, maybe just $100 every single day from 1 or 2 businesses. And that's really going to write it so that you can review those literally every single day or at least once a week. Then you're also going to say, okay, drop shipping interests me, or private labeling interests me, or creating content interests me, and I want to have the goal of creating 100 videos on YouTube within the next year, okay? Because I know that I can monetize them eventually through all sorts of different things, and that's my end up goal. And then maybe I know that I'm a high school student or something like that, right? So I know that every single day I have to be in school from 8 to 3 roughly, and I get home at like 3. So I know that from about 3 to, maybe 8 o'clock at night, I can spend those 5 hours working on my business. So then I have 5 hours every single day. If I work every, weekday, that's 25 hours, because 5 times 5 is 25. 25 hours that I can put towards my business. Or, you can work weekends too. So that's also something you need to ask yourself. can you afford to work weekends? Do you want to work weekends? Do you want to work nights if you have a job? You know, do you only want to put an hour into this? These are all things that we all have different views, we all have different goals, and we all have different lifestyles and, you know, basically what interests us. So you have to ask yourself these questions, you have to write them down and outline them. So the next thing I do want to talk about too is inspiring yourself and motivating yourself, and really not just putting your goals for your money or your business or how it relates to your life down on paper, but also putting, you know, down physically so that you can reference it, your goals, what you want out of life, what you want for not just yourself, but the people that you love. What are the things that you want for them? It doesn't have to be long. You can kind of add to it as you go, but I'll show you examples of mine here on the screen, and we'll pop it up right now. So you see goals and dreams is my PowerPoint, right? So you can create a PowerPoint or you can create a photo collage of things that inspire you. So let's flip this sideways so that we can see it, and we'll hit play. Now you'll see here, these are just things that inspire me, that are goals that I want for myself or for people that I love that inspire me. And the reason that I do this is every single time I feel like, you know, I don't feel like recording something today, or I don't feel like going, you know, and working and writing copy for my landing page or something like that. Whatever it is that references to your business. When you're not feeling motivated and you don't have that oomph behind you, I want you to reference these things. I want you to go back to your goals and what your direction is, to give you direction in what you should be doing on a day-to-day basis. I want you to go back to your PowerPoints or your photo collages to remind yourself what is actually relying on you to perform. What outcomes are going to be coming to fruition if you act today. That will give you motivation. So this might be a little bit cheesy, but it really will really pay dividends, and I promise you it has a very, very, very motivating and positive effect. So what this is obviously just a wedding ring. I don't plan on getting married anytime soon, but I do plan on getting married within like the next 2-3 years potentially to my girlfriend. We've been together for about 3 years, and she does deserve a really, really great wedding and a really great ring. She's an amazing person in a lot of different ways, and I feel like, you know, just this is a symbol of, you know, me needing to save up money and producing every single day so that I can provide her with a great ring and a great wedding, right? Next thing, I already have a relatively nice car, and it was originally one of the goals that it's crazy. I sat right there over there because we are at my parents' house right now. I'm filming here. I'm not at my apartment currently, but I sat right over there off the screen at my computer, my old computer that's still sitting right there. And basically what I did is I outlined all these goals about 2 to 3 years ago, and I put I think it was like an Audi A4 on there, right? And I wanted a brand new Audi A4. That was something that I wanted, and I got it like a year and a half ago finally. And it was like this moment where I literally sat down and I was driving it for the first time, and I remembered putting that on paper and being like, holy shit, like I remember actually setting that as a goal. So these things do come true. If you focus on them, you set the sail of your sail ship, it will pay off, and you might not even realize, you know, that you're moving in that direction, but it's very, very important. So obviously one of the next goals, and this is arbitrary just for myself, it's okay to have like selfish and flashy goals as well. So obviously right here, I want a Ferrari Spider, something I've wanted since I was young. Now this is my little sister's Jeep that she wants. You know, I want to be able to give her the car that she wants. It's something that she's been talking about for a while. Obviously she's a lot younger than me. She can't afford it. It would honestly make my entire year if I could get that for her. I'm not saying I will, not saying I won't, but just inspires me so that I'm not just thinking about myself. There are other people that I want to be able to do things for. So then obviously my dad, you know, he's worked his entire life. I owe a lot to him. One of the best, you know, role models in my life growing up. And you know, I wouldn't be where I am right now if he didn't put the work in and kind of, you know, give us and afford us the opportunities that we have. So he wants a Tesla, but I'm pretty sure that my parents can't afford that anytime soon, or maybe ever. So that'd be crazy if I could surprise him with that. Now, one of the things that you'll see here is this is a story I talk about a lot too. And I'm just giving you these examples to give you different things and you know, reference points that you can kind of potentially add to your collage that might inspire you. So one of the things I remember vividly is the last job that I worked while I was putting myself through college was actually on a golf course, and I actually hated it. I had to wake up at like 4 and 5 in the morning, and I do menial tasks that literally were super demeaning to who I thought I was as a person, and I never want to go back there. So this picture reminds me of exactly doing those things, and I want to change and help 10,000 people, hence why I'm making this course and this content. I want to help change the lives of 10,000 entrepreneurs and give them financial freedom. I want to travel with my girlfriend. We'll go through these fast. Also, my girlfriend's like obsessed with animals, and I love animals too. So maybe, you know, having enough money to create like another ASPCA or, you know, another, you know, just great fund or something to help other animals in need would be great. Then obviously like childhood cancer. I live close to CHOP, so in Philly, it's one of the things that obviously hits home for me. And just being able to donate money, just having a lot of money would be able to, you know, donate to causes, whether it's the ASPCA or things like this that, you know, would really make a difference in other people's lives. So it's not just for me. Then also I want rental properties, move through these fast. I want to be able to give my sister $10,000 as a graduation present. When she graduates, she would never see that coming. And then basically these are other things that I think about, and I have houses on here as well. But that's just something I wanted to talk about. I wanted to touch on that for you really briefly. It is super, super important to, you know, basically give you a push in the right direction. So understand your goals, make sure you write them down. They're very, very important. Do not skip this step. And also, if you need some motivation from time to time, I challenge you to create a collage or, you know, even just a motivational PowerPoint of your own. I don't go through and look at this every single day, but I promise you, if there is a day where I'm lacking in motivation, you can guarantee yourself I'm going to open up this PowerPoint and look through everything, and it will remind me, oh, that's right, like you wanted that. And it'll light that fire back underneath me to give me the push that I need to get going.